In the middle of the world's biggest sand sea lies a secret so big it has been hiding in plain sight for thousands of years. The Djinn of the Empty Quarter, also known as Rub al-Khali, is a vast desert region covering almost a quarter of the Arabian Peninsula. For centuries, rumors have circulated about lost cities swallowed by the dunes. Recently, an international team of archaeologists led by Professor Charles Swan from the University of Chicago used ground-penetrating radar and a drone survey to discover the secrets beneath the surface. They found hundreds of heat signatures buried deep under the shifting sands. These mysterious shapes revealed the skeletons of buildings up to 20 meters tall, forming part of a massive structure over 2 kilometers wide. It was like finding an entire city frozen in time. Determined to uncover the truth, Professor Swan and his team prepared for an expedition into the heart of the Rub al-Khali. As they ventured deeper into the desert, the searing heat and relentless sun beat down on them, testing their resolve. But their spirits lifted when they discovered remnants of a bustling past, ancient arrowheads, shards of pottery, and pieces of old machinery left behind by those who had come before. After weeks of arduous travel, they finally reached the edge of the mysterious city. With shovels in hand, they carefully scraped away layers of sand to reveal what lay hidden beneath. It was a moment of profound discovery as they uncovered perfectly preserved golden idols, some depicting strange creatures with wings, and others showing figures engaged in daily activities. It seemed as though time itself had stood still here, preserving these magnificent artifacts for thousands of years. Professor Swan couldn't believe his eyes. He and his team had stumbled upon a treasure trove of history, unlike anything he'd seen before. Each artifact told a story of a vibrant civilization that once thrived in this very spot. Among their finds were intricate pieces of jewelry, adorned with precious stones and symbols of a forgotten people. There were also tablets covered in enigmatic script, hinting at a rich cultural heritage. It was as if they were the first to stumble upon this hidden legacy in millennia. With the sun setting over the horizon, casting long shadows across the desert, Professor Swan and his team decided to make camp near their excavation site. Around a crackling fire, they shared stories and debated the origins of this lost city. Legend spoke of Iram of the Pillars, a mythical metropolis swallowed by the sands. Could this be its resting place? As the night deepened, a strange wind began to howl across the dunes, carrying with it whispers from the past. Suddenly, the golden idol they had found earlier seemed to glow with an otherworldly light. Its features seemed to shift and change, taking on a life of its own. Just when they thought it was their imagination playing tricks on them, the idol began to move, gliding effortlessly off the ground and floating towards them. In awe and terror, Professor Swan and his team watched as the golden idol approached them, its eyes glowing with an eerie light. It hovered above them, and then in a voice that echoed through the ages, it spoke. "For your curiosity and respect shown to my slumber, I will grant each of you a vision of your deepest desire." Before they could respond, the air around them shimmered and the idols vanished. One by one, each team member found themselves transported to a realm of their own creation. John, the young archaeologist, was taken to a world where ancient ruins were perfectly preserved and scholars hailed him as a genius for uncovering their secrets. Maria, the historian, found herself in a library filled with every book she had ever dreamed of reading. David, the photographer, was transported to a world where his images came to life and became renowned worldwide. Peter, the geographer, was placed in a lush green valley where rivers flowed with wine and fruit ripened on the trees. Charles, the professor, was taken to a world where he was celebrated as a legendary archaeologist who had discovered the lost city of gold. As they reveled in their newfound realities, none noticed the subtle changes occurring within them. Their desires had come at a cost. Each had become a vessel for the Djinn's magic, forever altered by their brush with the supernatural. When they were finally returned to the desert, they were no longer the same. John, once brimming with enthusiasm, now walked with a heavy heart, burdened by the knowledge of a world lost to time. Maria found herself unable to connect with her colleagues, her mind lost in the endless labyrinth of the great library. David's photography took on a haunting quality, capturing images that were both beautiful and disturbing. Peter grew distant and detached, his mind wandering to the intoxicating landscapes of the wine-filled valley. Charles, once a respected scholar, became obsessed with the legends of the lost city of gold, his sanity slipping away with each passing day. Only one of them would return, and it wasn't any of those who had given in to their wishes. It was Thomas, the quiet and unassuming cameraman, who had remained steadfast in his devotion to his friends and his mission. When they had vanished, he refused to give in to the Djinn's offer, and instead waited patiently for a way to bring them back. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and Thomas never wavered in his determination. His loyalty paid off when, after several months, the others began to return, changed but alive. However, only Thomas truly understood the cost of their journey. John, Maria, David, Peter, and Charles were indeed back, but they were not the same. John had returned barefoot and unable to speak. He had chosen to sacrifice his voice to preserve the secrets of the ancient world. Maria was now blind, having traded her sight for the forbidden knowledge contained in the great library. David could no longer capture images with his camera, as his hands trembled uncontrollably. Peter carried the weight of the world on his shoulders, his body bearing the scars of the wine-filled valley's magic. And Charles was consumed by the golden idol, his mind forever trapped in the mythical lost city. Thomas, the only one who had resisted the Djinn's temptations, carried with him a small pouch filled with sand from the Valley of Gold. Back in the modern world, the sand glowed brightly in the darkness, serving as a constant reminder of the dangers that lurked beneath the desert sands. Despite their transformations, each member of the team had brought back a piece of the ancient world with them, fragments of a lost civilization that would change their lives forever. Now it was up to Thomas, the one who had resisted the Djinn's temptations, to find a way to help his friends and preserve the secrets of the lost city for future generations. Did these echoes from the past send shivers down your spine? If so, give this video a thumbs up. It truly helps us unearth more disturbing truths. And to keep venturing into the darkest corners of history and the most haunted locales with us, don't forget to subscribe right now. Every subscriber helps us bring these forgotten fears to light. Until next time, remember, some stories aren't just stories. They're warnings,